There's one specific thing that's stopping all beginner filmmakers from being successful. And it's not even that hard of a fix. So let's talk about it.
What's up, people? My name is Kenya. Welcome to The Spot. I've been thinking about this for a little while now, about how to be a good creator, how to be a good filmmaker, photographer, all of those things. And what I'm starting to realize is that there's a steep learning curve that you don't realize is there until you've actually started to do what you want to do. So like for me, as a videographer, I thought it was just, hey, grab a camera, press record, and steady hands, just steady hands. But there's so much more. It's like, okay, what are the settings on my camera? What is the lighting fixture? There's so much there. And the first thing that we do is, okay, well, I want my thing to look like this. And this person did that perfectly. So let me try to figure out what they did. So we compare. And unlike a lot of things in life, I feel like comparison in this aspect is actually beneficial. Like, how do I know what look I want if I'm not watching somebody else? How do I know how to speak into a camera correctly if I'm not looking at other people do it? So I think it's okay to look at other people's work, to look at other people's success. But the issue we have is that we're not able to relate to it in a healthy way. And here's what I mean by that. Specifically for me, I am an aspiring videographer, photographer. So I'm trying to learn to do more film-like things. And I see a lot of people make videos and I'm like, that's what I want to do. But the issue is I immediately go to how they did it based on what they have versus their creativity. So for example, I'll be on Instagram and I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see a picture that I really like and I'm like, wow, it's so crisp, it's so sharp. And I'm like, dang, I wonder what camera they have. Or I'm like, man, like, look at how they made all that lighting work. I wonder what LUT they used. Or, like, man, that's the most stable footage I've ever seen. They must have an expensive gimbal. And that mindset, it's making me feel as if the only difference between that person who's worked years and years and years and dedicated their life to really tone in on their skills and work on their craft, I'm making it seem like the only difference between the two of us is the gear they have and the gear I have. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. The gear is an element that helps us, but it's definitely not the majority of what we need in order to be good, to be successful. This mentality is actually kind of dangerous because it makes you lose creativity, it makes you lose passion, it makes you lose drive, because all you can do is sit there and say, no, I would be able to do that, but I don't have that. I can't afford this. Versus people you see who are genuinely just walking around with their beginner camera, no mic, no lighting, no extras, and they're making insane content. And I think just the age we're living in speaks to that. Like, how many people are famous on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and all they're using is an iPhone 8, It's like, how are they doing that? Oh, because they're being more creative than relying on their technology. And I think as filmmakers, we just hear about gear and gear and gear. Even photographers, we're like, oh, this lens, this camera, this whatever. And it's really crippling us at the core because a lot of people are like, I'm just gonna work until I get this lens, this lens, this lens. And it's like, okay, I guess that maybe made my images a little sharper, or maybe that gave me a little more depth that I could have wanted. But because of that, you missed out on how much you could have done with what you already had. And that mindset, I think, is just going to continually make you want to get the newest thing, and it's going to continually stop you from improving and growing into the filmmaker or just creator in general that you could be. So I guess the easiest way to boil that down would just be it's pride. Pride being, I am good enough to do what anyone else is doing if I just had the tools, even though we're not stepping back to understand that sometimes you need to create your own tools, and that those people who are using this technology that we aren't able to access yet actually didn't begin. They became famous, they became good at what they're doing at the same level we are, probably with less equipment than we have. So yeah, I've been thinking about that the last couple of days, and I'm just kind of like, I am so guilty of that in every aspect. Like, I'm looking around the room and it's like, gimbal, new lens, new camera, and it's like, yes, I did spend a good bit of time, you know, understanding all of those things, understanding that I need to be able to be excellent with what I have first. And I think I actually did a relatively good job of doing that before I started to upgrade. But still, when I look back now, I'm just kind of like, I thought this was going to be a little better. I thought it was going to be a little different, and it wasn't. So I would just really encourage you to don't think too much about what you have or what you need, but just go outside with one lens, go outside with your phone, go outside with just the minimal amount of things and make something amazing. And then after you've made that, then go try with something a little better. Then go try to ump up the, you know, the creativity with the other things that you have. And I think it'll be really good for you. And I think it'll be really good for just the collective community, because we'll be able to do things that we didn't even realize we were able to do. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I've definitely been thinking about this whole thing for a little while now, and it's definitely been helping me just tone down what I feel like I need and actually learn to be creative with my shots and my angles and everything else. So if you relate, talk to me in the comments. Tell me if you've felt this before or have understood this before, or maybe if you have something to add or something to take away as well. And if you want to follow the journey, click up this video right here. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.